you. I see you now. You can't escape from me.
Hey guys, just Todd from Nocturnal Studios, just doing a quick little video for my This Is War series. I told you I was going to do a magnetizing vid, and this is it. So basically what I'm doing here, we're going to be going through how to magnetize heavy Warjack from the privateer press range. This one is a Menoth Warjack. It comes with 3 different variants, all in the one box. So it comes with the Crusader, Templar and Vanquisher. These kits are perfect for magnetization, so that you can basically have one box which does 3 things, and that's pretty cool for one price. So yeah, let's get started. So we're just going to cover a few main things just with magnets before we get started. The main size magnets that we're going to be using today are basically a 5mm magnet and a 3mm magnet. 3mm magnets will basically be going in between the weapons and in the grooves for the arms, and the 5mm magnets will basically be going into the shoulder sockets and whatnot. These magnets are from a company called Modfix. They're really the only magnets that I use, just due to they are very good quality, and on top of that they're very good for the price that you pay. And they also come in a wide range of kits. So a few things that you're going to need. You're going to need to have some green stuff, epoxy, to help seal it all in. You're going to need to have some quality glue, control gel is what I always use. Then a few just basic tools would just be like your hobby knife, your little drill set there and whatnot, and then of course your magnets. So basically just a quick little tutorial with the magnets. Make sure you get an N grade quality, roughly about 50 to 52, just so that they have that really nice snap that you would hear and that you'll get. When they snap together, that means that they're going to work and they're going to hold in place for whatever you want to do. When they don't, when the polarity is reversed, they're not going to click into place. So when you go like this and you mix it wrong, there's just no way that you're going to get them to touch one another. It's actually quite a fun little game trying to do that when you're bored. But anyway, so that's the main part. Okay team, so the next part that we're going to go through is basically how I got to this stage right here. So basically all I've done is just unboxed everything. I've cleaned it all up, got rid of the mold lines, everything like that. I've just put a little bit of a cork base just down there, which is just a really simple thing to do. All you really need to do is just buy some tiles of cork, and then just break it up into like a rock formation type of thing, and then just PVA glue it down to your base. The only thing that I really stress, guys, if you're going to be putting cork bases down, make sure you pin your models. So basically get a paper clip, cut it into sections, drill a little hole into the base of the feet, and then put it through and glue it in through to the cork. If you just do basically what I've seen some people do, they just glue the feet straight down to the cork, it's never going to hold and it's going to break in with the slightest little bit of trauma to the model, and you definitely don't want that, especially if you're going to spend some time on these models. That would just be traumatic to anybody. Other than that, with the resin, because it is a little bit different than the standard GW stuff, once you've cleaned it all and demolded it, it's the same as Forge World stuff, just chuck in a little bit of a bath of just some washing up detergent and just let it soak in there for probably about half an hour to an hour or so, and just keep stirring it every now and then just to make sure it's all clean, and then just give it a quick rinse off just with some water, and yeah, then just leave it on some just paper towel to dry. I've gone ahead and I've magnetized the shoulder sockets in this. I can't take you through every single step because that video would just go for too long, but basically the majority of this one that I've done so far is I've assembled it all together, and then just with the shoulder sockets just there, I've just drilled these on basically just on a bit of an angle, so that when your weapons come through, that they come in on that angle when you magnetize them back in, like so. So you can basically just go from there with whatever options you want to do. Very nice and simple, nice little click. The main point to make sure that you consider is that you get the magnets as flush as possible, and really just as clean as possible. So just take your time and make sure you use, so example, if you're using a 5mm drill bit, then you'd use a little bit bigger sorry, 5mm magnet, you just use a little bit bigger drill bit. So it just gives enough clearance. So then you can just put all your green stuff in there, and a little bit of super glue just to hold it in place, and it definitely will not go anywhere. If you don't use the epoxy, you just use the super glue, it's going to come off, especially if you change the options and you use the miniature a lot, it's just going to come off over time. So you don't want that. Do it once, do it right, guys. Okay, so I'm going to basically show you from one part, just on his left arm here, from start to finish, and then basically you just need to repeat the process over the whole miniature, and then you'll get the whole thing. Alright guys, stay tuned. Okay team, so step-by-step process, here we go. So basically all I really need to do is try to find the center point of the little arm socket here. So then I just make a small little incision or a pilot hole, just so that you can make sure that you know exactly where you're gonna go, and you could just drill straight into it, but I'm a tradesman by trade, so I generally just take my time and make sure it gets done once and get it done right. So just do a small little point in there, just so that you know roughly where you are going to be headed. And then yeah, so this weapon I've already done, it's got a 3mm magnet in it, and I've done the exactly same process I'm going to be showing you. And that's basically when it's magnetized, that's just going to click like so right into there, and then just make sure with all the weapon arms that the polarity is correct the whole way, so that every single arm will click into place, instead of one and then having to change it, and it will basically be a negative effect, so you definitely don't want that. Okay, so the next step I take, I'm just going to get my 5mm drill bit, because I'm going to be actually putting a 5mm magnet into this, so basically I'll have a much firmer grip with the magnet. So I'll basically just be putting a 5mm magnet in this socket in here. So I'll just get my 5mm drill bit, and I'm just going to drill a hole just in right in there. Alright guys, be back in 1 second with the finished product. Okay team, so basically I've taken the 5mm drill bit, and I've just drilled out just through the hole, just through the pilot hole that I've done in there. So basically yeah, the next step to do is just to make sure that the magnet fits in there, just like so. And that's very, very nice just in there. So make sure that that's the magnet, and you can't see that line anymore. So basically you'll get a little bit of super glue, put just a little fraction in there, then you'll get your green stuff, just a little bit, so roughly probably around about that much, hardly anything, and you'll put that in place, and then you'll put a little bit of super glue on it again, and then you'll feed the magnet in there, and then the magnet will sit flush with the level of that arm just there, just to create the effect that we want for the magnetized weapon. Okay guys, next step is just putting the epoxy in. Okay team, so basically I just put my little bit of glue just in here, just a fraction amount. I then get a kebab skewer, dip it in just a little bit of water, keep it wet. I'll then get my little bit of epoxy green stuff, just chuck that in the hole, and then basically what I'll do, just with the wet kebab skewer, is basically just push this down into the bottom, and then just try to fan it out, so basically it gives the magnet a nice solid base to be put into. Just make sure you keep it wet, because otherwise the epoxy will try to stick to the kebab skewer, and you don't want that. And just try to push it around as much as possible to give it the magnet a nice little bit of clearance. If you get a little bit on the top, don't worry about it, it'll come straight off. Okay, so the next step, just to check the magnet polarity, so that it's completely right with the weapons. So basically with the weapons, we don't want that. Okay, we don't want that, because that's not going to work. That is what we want, team. So in case you missed it, that is what we want. So you can either mark the magnet or whatever you want to like, but that's the way that this has to be facing out of that. So put that down, a little bit of super glue, just a little bit, not a lot. Break the magnet off, place it in such. Kebab skewer, just a little bit of water on that, and then you just push it straight into place. And then just a little bit of a cleanup. And there we go. So it's basically nice and finished now. Nice, dead even. And then there we go. So that's basically what you want, team. So just like that. Okay. So then make sure that that's pushed in there. Just give it a little bit, and then we'll just check the polarity of it. There we go. Okay, team. So this is basically the finished product. So you're basically just going to replicate this all over the model. So I've put the 5mm just in his left arm, and then I've put the 5mm in both the shoulder sockets. Other than that, I've just put the 3mm in all the other various weapons. Just you can put in whatever size you want just to get the best fit. But that's basically just what I've done, and that is sturdy enough to hold anything. I just basically wanted a little bit more grip here just in this arm, just for all the weapon options, because sometimes they can be a bit heavy and you really want to be able to grip it. You don't want the whole thing weighing everything down and then moving it because of the magnet. You want it to be nice and strong. So this is a very good Warjack to magnetize. I think the Kador ones are a little bit easier, but they have just more variants, so that's why I've just done this very quick one just with the protectorate of Menoth. So there you go, guys. I hope you like. Any questions, just let me know. It's very straightforward. Once again, got to reiterate, basically just follow this step-by-step process through all the different parts. It's all exactly the same. Make sure you have good magnets. Check out the guys at Modfix. Other than that, yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to sub, and there'll be a video coming up with this being painted. Alright, guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned.